So good afternoon. We're here again. We're here again at SABINA Park, where we have the 2017 JCA Senior Cup Finals. This game is between Melbourne CC and the Jamaica Defence Force. We saw in the first session of play the Jamaica Defence Force bowling out Melbourne CC for 103. And a quick recap at what happened. The first to go was Tariq White. He went without scoring. The next to go was Trevon Griffiths. He went for 29. Then Stephen Taylor, the dangerous Stephen Taylor, he went for 31. Andre McCarthy, he went without score. The very first ball. Sadiq Kibolt, he went for 1. Nepal Watson 9. Javel Glenn 3. Nikita Miller 1. Chris Lamont without score. And Ronaldo McKenzie for 6. Damien Jacobs was left not out on 16. So here we are in the finals. And it seems as though we have a wicket. So the first wicket has fallen off the very first ball of the day. Jermaine Harrison, the dangerous Jermaine Harrison, he goes first ball of the bowling of Rolando McKenzie. So JDF, they've started out on a rocky note here. They've lost the dangerous Jermaine Harrison. Jermaine Harrison, of course, he's in the top 5 of most runs in Senior Cup. Jermaine Harrison, he has an average of 36.9, scored 2,031 runs with 4 centuries and 14 half centuries. But today, he has gone without score of the very first ball of the innings. A very dangerous player. Has a lot of experience here in Senior Cup. Here is McKenzie to bowl to Ottar. And this ball beats the outside edge and runs through the wicketkeeper, passes first slip. They go through for 1, and they'll think about the second. They come back for it. The man at second slip had to scamper through for it. Seemed like Nikita Miller. He chased it all the way to the fence. And ROLANDO McKENZIE, the batsman, left-handed, Rashid Ottar. Ottar again is beaten outside the off stump. McKenzie really starting well here so far. And we're seeing some of that here right now. Here is McKenzie to bowl to Ottar, who's looking to turn this one. It comes off the pad. They think about the run, but Ottar is sent back, bowling to 3 slips and a gully. Man at backward point, here he is. And Ottar is back and punching nicely into the offside. They go through for 1. They think about the second, and they won't come for it. And a strong throw. 3 centuries, 9 half centuries, with an average of 40. And here he is, facing his first delivery to McKenzie. He comes back and plays it back down the pitch. That's the end of the first over. A very successful one for Melbourne CC. They had the wicket, the very first ball of the innings of the dangerous Jermaine Harrison. He went caught behind of the bowling of Rolando McKenzie. And the score here at SABINA Park, JDF in chase of 104 runs to get first innings honors. There are 3 for the loss of 1 wicket. Is 104. Here is McKenzie to bowl to Palmer outside the off stump. Palmer lets it go by. Palmer will not be rushed off JDF over the years with his bowling. Didn't miss him too much. This ball again is outside the off stump. And it's off the deck. Here he is. A very smooth and rhythmic action to Palmer. Palmer lets this one go by outside the off stump. And he won't be tempted into square leg and a man at fine leg. Here he is to bowl to Palmer. Palmer lets this one go by outside the off stump, wider than the others. And right away, the man at gully sprints Palmer. And down the leg side, and it goes past the wicketkeeper, and it crushes into the fence, and that's 4 byes. Very harsh on the wicketkeeper. Very, very harsh on the wicketkeeper. He had absolutely no chance at getting that, but nonetheless, it will be charged against him. It's 4 byes, and Jamaica Defence Force, they have now gone up to 7 for the loss of 1. Here's McKenzie to bowl to Palmer. Palmer is forward looking for the single. They go through for a very easy single. He pushed it into the offside, and right away his partner responded. And that's the end of over number 3. At the end of it, it's 8 for loss of 1 wicket. A man in front of square on the onside. This one outside the off stump and let go by Joseph Palmer to try and forge some kind of false stroke. There again outside the off stump, and Palmer lets it go. It seems as though he's testing the resolve. He's testing the patience of Palmer with the advantage. Palmer is. Here's McKenzie. And Palmer is driving outside the off stump and misses. Beautifully bowled by McKenzie. Now this is the type of cricket I'm talking about. You saw at the start of the over, McKenzie, he started wide. He got a little bit closer. And then that one, he got real tight onto the off stump with a little outward movement. And it caused a false shot from Palmer. Here he is to bowl to Palmer. Palmer is driving. It's a bump ball. But there's a loud appeal. Loud appeal. Not out, says umpire Taylor. He didn't even check with his partner. He was that short. It seemed as though that one was a bump ball. But of course, Melbourne, they're very enthusiastic. They're hungry for wickets. They'll be going up for everything. So I'm sure the umpires will have their hands full today. I said not out. They seemed very... Bowled him! And it's a no ball. What tragedy. What tragedy. What a tragedy this is. Oh my Lord. Joseph Palmer bowled off a no ball. This over continues to be extremely eventful. And here he is, trying to make amends. And this one is outside the off stump again and let go by. And Joseph Palmer lives again to fight on. Undo. And this one outside the off stump again. And Palmer lets this one go by. And that's the end of over number 5. At the end of it, the score is 12 for the loss of 1 wicket. It could have been 2. However, young ROLANDO McKENZIE bowled Joseph Palmer off a no ball. And right arm over the wicket. And Ottar is whipping at this one. He misses. Goes through very low to the wicketkeeper. It actually bounced twice before it got to him. And again, as I said earlier, this pitch is very it's one of those pitches that you have to be patient on. You have some deliveries from the fast bowlers that bounce at you. You have some that goes very low. Here is McKenzie. And again down the leg side. And Ottar misses. It's to bowl to Ottar. And Ottar is driving sweetly through the covers. Will this make it to the fence? Yes, it will. It crashes into the ropes. Exquisite shot by Rashid Ottar. And that goes for 4. That moves JDF to 23 for the loss of 1 wicket. Here's McKenzie to bowl again to Ottar. Full toss. Ottar drives. The man at mid-off goes across. They go through for 1. They think about the second. And the man slides and misses. And they come through very easily for the second. The throw comes in right about now. That fielder looks like Javel Glenn. He slid to his left, but he didn't pick up cleanly. One can say both of them have pretty much been there from the start. Here's McKenzie. This ball is whipped away through the onside by Rashid Ottar. Glorious shot, and it hits the fence about now. That's 4 runs. Another half volley onto midland leg stump. Rashid Ottar, he waited on that delivery all the way till it got to him. He didn't try to force it any at all. He clipped it sweetly past Tariq White, the man at mid-on who could not pick up. 2 for a boundary and 1 for 2. Here is McKenzie to bowl to Ottar. Back of a length, and Ottar is back. And he plays it down. That's the end of the over. He rehearsed the pull.
From the Blue Mountain end. He runs into Bennett and delivers a delivery that's hitting this man on the leg, but an appeal went up. Apparently, that ball was played off the bat.
It seemed more as though it was missing the leg stump. It really... McKenzie gets the ball to dart in to the right-hander.
That was
Joseph Palmer, but of course that was a no ball. Here he is again to bowl to Bennett, and again the ball is veering into that midland leg stump, and Bennett does well to come down on it and get some bat on it and squeezes it to a mid-on where Damon Jacobs comes across fields and sends a throw in. And now, Sean, it will be very interesting.
A lot of drives coming down on the onside. But here is McKenzie into Chang, and Chang is whipping this one off his legs that goes down to fine leg quickly to that man on the boundary bolt, and a single is taken. The score moves to 197 for the loss of 6 wickets. The lead is 94, and I'm sure JDF will be looking to get those 6 or 9 runs to inch this lead up to 100.
Thinking maybe a man in the mid-wicket region would be good, but this one is again veered into mid and leg stump with a little bit of pace. This youngster, McKenzie, he doesn't really hit the deck very hard as the JDF fast bowlers. He's a bit skiddy for the LBW. Here he is to bowl to Bennett. Bennett has been there for some time. This ball is veered into the mid and leg stump, and Bennett plays with a very straight bat. And Damien Jacobs walks from the mid-on region to field. And there is no run. The score now moves to 198 for 6. Psychologically safe.
That's right. Here is this ball outside the off stump, but Bennett was into the drive and beaten for pace. Kerry, I want to comment on that point he made in reference to the slips. See where JDF has really consolidated and just look to survive, get those singles, and bring the score up to what it is now. It is now a 201 for the loss of 6 wickets. Ben McKenzie is bowling to Chang, and he is up to the wicket and delivers a delivery that's down the leg side and missed by keeper Watson, and it runs away to the boundary, goes into the boundary now for 4 byes, an additional score to the JDF total. They have now moved the lead to exactly 101, and now the Melbourne team really has something to worry about. The score is now 205, but it all went well for the JDF men. Here is McKenzie in, and this delivery is outside the off stump, which is left alone by Chang, who has really batted well. He has only scored 18 runs in 70 minutes, really supporting Bennett on the way and keeping out the Melbourne team. Again, McKenzie runs into bowl. He is in, and this delivery is on the line of the off stump, and Chang is back and playing in his very fashionable defensive way. The ball squeezes out to the point region where there is no run. McKenzie turns hastily and is walking back to his mark. Here is McKenzie, the young fast bowler from Melbourne, is up to the crease and delivers to Chang, who is leaving this little ball. This ball is a very wide delivery. It passes the keeper, Watson. Wide signaled by Christopher Taylor. 4 comes after that. That's 5 more runs added without anything done to the score. The Melbourne team are really losing it now.
24 extras, Sean. Now, if you only score 103, there's no way you should be you should be giving up 24 extras at this time. But it is what it is. That's how life is on the day that is not yours. The partnership now moves to 56. An excellent partnership between Sean Bennett and Rohan Chang. As he runs away to bowl to Chang, and Chang is getting this one. Apparently, it got a little bit of inside edge and then rocketed into the pads. No appeal came. I'm very surprised, though, Sean, that the JDF batsmen have not been trying to ensure that this over wasn't the last over. Ensure that this be the last over.
I'm sure. Here's McKenzie into Chang, and Chang is edging this one down to second slip, but it falls short of Stephen Taylor, and time has been called. Apparently, JDF batsmen seem to know that this was the final over, so it really didn't matter, and they have successfully kept out the Melbourne team. The score at the end of the day, 210 for the loss of 6 wickets, and JDF certainly in the ascendancy at this moment in time. To give you a recap,